My name is Emerson Paul. So I was incarcerated for 18 and a half years, and I was involved at the Amity Foundation program, the Beacon House. Another resident there had told me about Gino Savacos and Turning Point, and I reached out to Gino. We talked about some of the things that I was interested in, and he helped me on some of my journey. So I grew up in Los Angeles, and I was like heavily into sports, always lived in a gang environment, got involved with gangs, committed crimes, went to prison when I was 18 and was sentenced when I was 20 to 2 life terms. So after 18 and a half years, I went to the board and I was granted parole. I came home and continued back on with my educational goals, and this was a resource that helped me. It helps me as far as like a life coach goes, because that was something I was already interested in, and peer support specialist. So when we talked about some of the things that I wanted to accomplish, he let me know about Loyola Marymount's program with peer support specialists, which I'm enrolled in now and is scheduled to graduate in April. So it was pretty much like putting the two together, what I already had and what he was able to help with me on. And I've been invested in gang reduction and development, and now I'm at this point. Well, I wasn't really informed on all of the resources available like that. I didn't even know it existed until I actually met Gino. So when we talked a few times over the phone and then we met and everything like that, he was able to like really point me in that direction. So Turning Point was like a huge help with what I'm doing now. One of the main mistakes was being young-minded and then not really having a guidance or a purpose. It was like, how I was living a gang lifestyle, and I was invested in that, which was taught to me early on. It was like multi-generational. And so I didn't have any of the proper education related to understanding myself or knowing anything about emotional regulation, nothing about emotional intelligence, social intelligence, or any of that. So when I refocused my journey on knowing myself, those were the topics that came up, which I learned about studying the diagnostics and statistics manuals, participating in the college programs prior to release, and then coming home and finding out about all of these resources available. It was like a huge help in the steps in the right direction. My ideal days primarily consist of like work, school,